Hey everybody, this is me, myself, and I. Part one of Stop Treating Baby Fathers Bad. I'm sorry I've been away for so long, but I wanted to come and talk to the females today of the group, and I didn't want to sound a hypocrite when I came, so I wanted to do a lot of research before I touched this subject. And I'm talking today with you guys because I want everybody to understand, especially as females, that we as females, we do things to our daughters' fathers because we treat them a certain way or we feel a certain way towards them because of something they may or may not have done. And we need to understand that our baby fathers, if they're good fathers, if they're taking care of their kids, you understand there are reasons why you understand there we are not with that person or that man, and it needs to be understood. And I've done some research, and a lot of things that I've noticed on why it is because of jealousy, hurt, pain, and financial strain. And I've also come to realize it also has to do with forms of abuse, from verbal to emotional to physical abuse. And to be honest, I've come to a point where I realize that, you know, I myself have my daughter's father. I've known the man for 12 years. The first 2 years I met him in college. And then I was with him for 5 years after my daughter was born. And then we separated with our own personal differences. And then 5 years after that, it was like a holy freaking war. And because it was like a holy war, I went after him, attacked him. I did things that I really shouldn't have. And I did things that didn't, I shouldn't have done. And I should have realized back then that it wasn't about me, that it was about my daughter, But when you're in pain, when you're hurt, when you're struggling, when your feelings are beyond uncontrollable and there are just things you don't know what to do and you don't know what to say, your emotions take control. I feel like this sometimes, that I'm Superwoman and my emotions are my kryptonite, you know? So it has a tendency to, you know what I'm saying, control you. And it has a tendency to, do things that it make you say things that you would never want to say or do with a person. And a lot of the times, mothers who have children have a tendency to blame the father, you know what I'm saying, because they're jealous of another woman in their life, or because they're hurt by how the relationship went, or because of the baby father's however he treats them and not the kid, you know what I'm saying? But again, us as females sometimes forget that it's not about you and it's not about him, it's about your child and what your child does. You understand? And it's unfair and it's unreal. I understand. I've been through the hurt. I've been through the pain. I've been through the suffering. I've done things and said things I really shouldn't have done. And because of that, I've made mistakes and made choices in my life that maybe I shouldn't have. You know what I'm saying? And it's unfortunate, you understand, because we as females have to learn the hard way. I know in some relationships we've been verbally abused, and sometimes verbal abuse can be the type of abuse that really does screw it up for people. It's the part that people really can't deal with or take on. And I understand that and I respect that. And like I said, I've been through it. 5 years, I've been through it. I know what it's like to go through a holy war with a man that you once loved, you know what I'm saying? But if he's a good person to the father, a good father to the child, then why are you being like that? Like, why? Why are you even, you know what I'm saying, treating your baby father in a way where not letting him see his kid, not letting him spend time with his kid. Like what? You collect the money, you collect the child support, but you won't let him be with his kid? I'm a little confused. You know what I'm saying? I really just think that I really like, parents to, especially females, to see things differently. You know what I'm saying? Like if they're taking care of the kid, then it's for the kid. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I understand that there's been a lot of verbal and stuff abuse, but I also noticed that females, there are tendencies where men are not in their kids' lives. And because they're not in their kids' lives, I mean, sorry, let me take that back. I know there's a lot of women who have a tendency to feel that they have certain rights to men. And one thing I don't like is hitting. If your baby father does not hit you, treat you like a queen, and never put his hands on you, why in the world are you disrespecting him and putting your hands on them? Now, of course, another woman will fight me on this, and I don't give a rat's ass. You can fight me on this all you want, but just because you're a female, it doesn't give you the right to put your hands on people. And it doesn't give you the right to feel that you can do and come and go as you please and disrespect this man in every shape, form. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just not appropriate. It's not right. And you need to move past your pain and your anger. Now, I'm going to pause this for a second because I want to take time out for a little reflection. And then there's a part 2 to this where I'm going to continue, which is 20 minutes longer, of what's been going on, of more in depth about this type of abuse and how we can change ourselves. So I would like to take a few minutes to take a pause of reflection for a few thoughts on what I thought about. And then I'm going to ask everybody who's listening to this podcast to please then move on to the second part, because the second part is the remainder of this podcast. So let's take a moment to reflect.